Good afternoon, and welcome to another Super Secret Project sketch. This is Eric Whalen from Super Secret Project X, and today, open up a bottle of water.
Yay! Ale hydrate.
I know, seriously. I'm going to do Men Talk the Mind Taker. I love Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. But I gotta say, I also like the original Birdman, and it's not that it's necessarily the greatest show, but it was fun. And Men Talk, I think I like the Harvey Birdman version of Men Talk better. The original version was actually kind of fun, but was just nowhere near as awesome as the Attorney at Law version. He's just so funny. So that's the version I'm going to be working on.
In Birdman, he took over for, and I always forget the guy's name, the original judge who did with the horns and the stone club.
Oh, Mytor.
Yeah, Mytor, that's right.
Yeah.
But he took over for him because I think Mytor retired or something. But
I believe he was assassinated by Fred Flintstone and Thundar the Barbarian, which was weird because I didn't even realize the first couple times I saw that episode that it was Thundar because they got his hair color wrong. So, because Thundar's a blonde, and so they made him like a brunette, and then they put him in like sort of like Italian mobster kind of
the
like
tracksuit.
the tracksuit kind of look.
I think I'm trying to think. Was he assassinated? I mean, because he appeared throughout the rest of the.
Well, yeah, because they landed a rock on him. But then he showed up in other episodes, so apparently he survived.
That's what I think he retired because they showed him with the golf club where
Yep.
going lee,
Yep.
whatever they make a innuendo.
But yeah, no, they I think that's when he came in. But anyways, so funny because I think that's what entirely that show was just funny people with funny voices being funny consistently.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So I will work on Men Talk. It's mind-taking, baby. Mind-taking, baby. Which might actually explain Lindsay. Someone took her mind.
Well, can't take if you don't have in the first place.
I love that character, but man, she had her mind took. I'm going to start with his mighty cranium, his mighty mind-taking cranium. Which, lovely enough, I don't know if it's the hat, but it has a point. So, I'm going to start with this pointy-headed cranium. Men talk. It's mind-taking, baby. God, he is so funny. Every single time I rewatch the show, I'm like, oh, right, yeah, I remember Mind Taker, he's funny, yada yada. And then I rewatch it, and I'm laughing really hard again every single time. It's like, oh, yeah, no, he's kind of funny, blah, blah, blah. It's mind taking, baby! And then I just kind of start losing it.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of being able to sort of use that phrase a few weeks ago when I was chatting with somebody about enamel pens, and the person was a potential business person that I was going to work with. So he's like, well, I can. I was like, well, how do I message you? And he was like, well, you can send me an email. You can message me here, or you can try telekinesis, or telepathy. There you go. Telekinesis is the movie.
Yeah.
You can try telepathy. And I was like, well, I'll just send you an email because my mind taking is a little rusty right now. So.
It's mind taking, baby. Yeah, I was almost not in the mood to do this today. I was just sort of kind of spent this morning. I'm not sure what it is. I'm starting to think that what are we, week 8 or 9 at this point?
9, I think. 9, maybe 10.
Yeah, and I'm a hermity indoor kind of dude, and I think it's starting to get to the point now where even I'm going like,
I was was actually
I'd
reading.
kill just to go to McDonald's and watch like a homeless dude eat fries. You know what I mean? Like where it's like the normal stuff where you're kind of going like, now I'm kind of like, yeah, it sounds great. You know, like,
I was actually reading up on something regarding that, and they were saying that a lot of the fatigue that a lot of people are having and stuff, um, isn't from uh, overworking. It's from the body itself, literally all sects of the body. So like mind, physical, emotional, spiritual, and all that are so overclocked with everything that it just literally takes a toll on your body and just drains you. They described it basically as if you have a pot and you just put stuff in, and you're putting stuff in, all the ingredients, and then something is constantly getting like leached out. So you put like a drainage tube in there, and it's constantly going out, and you keep putting stuff in, keep putting stuff in, and it keeps going out. That's basically what it is. It's like your body's just so overworked that it's just like everything's constantly getting drained because everything is working at the exact same time. Like nothing gets a chance to get refilled because there's just so much of everything that's happening. And I was like, well, that's a kind of an interesting point of view on that, but it's basically the equating of just like everything getting put on fight or flight at the exact same time, and then your body's just like, I'm tired.
well, the funny thing is I'm actually I'm kind of okay. I'm not okay with the situation, but I'm okay with our situation within the situation. Like this isn't bad.
Yeah, but there's.
But it's still, I think, even me who likes staying home and writing and drawing and painting and blah blah blah,
Mhm.
I just, it's like I'm just at the point now. I'm like, wow, now I actually am kind of going like, I want to get out, and I'm not like crawling on the walls or anything, but I think it is starting to wear on me.
Well, if you want, I gotta do a grocery pickup soon here. If you want to just ride out with me at one point, get you out of the
I
house.
might just to get out of the house because been working the job doing this. You know, the funny thing is like, oh, you know, I have to stay home and enjoy the things I want to do. Oh, so tough, but it's just like still, it's just
Yeah.
I haven't seen outside of this building, outside of a couple instances for like 9 weeks, and I'm like,
Yeah, why do you think I decided to start doing the pickup now?
Yeah.
As much as I don't want to,
I hear you.
it still gets me out, and yeah.
Yeah,
and,
I hear you.
Yeah, like I don't really want to do any restaurant food, any pickup or anything like that. But it's like I've seen other people do it, and up to the point I'm just like, maybe.
Well, firstly, I miss some of my favorite restaurants, and it would be nice to get something like that. But I think what would really be nice is going to that restaurant and just being somewhere else. And like again, I'm not like crawling the walls, but I think it is just starting to slowly wear on me a little bit. And I need to sit there and kind of concentrate and kind of pull myself out of it, which I don't normally have to do.
Yep.
It's like our vacation here is coming up, and chances being our vacation is going to be in here, which I can deal with. There's all sorts of stuff that I'm looking forward to and doing and blah blah blah. But again, it's kind of like that's in trade for all the places we normally go and all the stuff we normally do and all the different foods and peoples and thises and thatses, and it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
cool. You know, it's I can't complain because we're in better shape than a lot of people. But on the same note,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Everybody's all stuck in.
exactly right. And it's I'm not. So I'm not complaining. It's just I think it's weird for everyone at this point. So
Yeah.
it's mind taking, baby. Watch as we finally get the chat fixed and and then nobody shows up. I'd be like,
honestly, that's kind of what it's looking like, right? I have it monitoring, and I did a quick test thing, and it popped up saying, "Hey, I'm watching with you," and I've been the only one so far.
it actually didn't pop up on mine.
Well, it's on Facebook, that's why.
Yeah, and it should still pop up on mine.
Oh, well, I don't know if it'll pop up saying that I'm watching with you. It just should say.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah.
said you typed.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
No, I said
yeah,
I
no, I
just-
wouldn't see that.
yeah.
No, you're right.
I don't know if that was a tired yawn or a hungry yawn.
You know, it's kind of funny, and I realize I'm like, you know, it's Harvey Birdman and all that kind of stuff came out 20-ish years ago now, so it was our college stuff. But I do kind of miss the shtick that kind of went away, where they would grab classic cartoons and put them into different situations and stuff. I kind of miss that, and I'm not saying that it should be all the time, but it would be. And I know they're doing a new Harvey Birdman, from what I'm understanding. But I'm also just kind of going like, I was a little surprised that we didn't get kind of some more stuff like that from time to time. Like it just, you know, like to me that seems like the obvious thing to do with old cartoons that people aren't doing much with anymore, is kind of reworking them and playing with them and sort of bringing them into a new kind of a, I don't know if light's the right word, but you know.
Well, I think it's just with a lot of, there's so many licenses that have to go on with that. 'Cause I mean, even companies that have, like Hanna-Barbera with their multiple properties and stuff like that, even companies that have multiple properties, still each property is particularly owned, so.
No, I mean, I get that. I don't know, I was kind of the opinion that if you're not doing a whole heck of a lot with a license, you might as well try new things, and that seemed like a really great way of like grabbing a hold of stuff. And you know, because I still think that Hanna-Barbera could grab like all their old space stuff and make one heck of a space opera with like the Herculoids and Space Ghost, and I mean even Galaxy Trio and them, which I wouldn't concentrate too much on, but it just seems like that would be a great way of doing something, you know. And it just they didn't you know, which I mean I'm fine with. I just kind of, when I was younger, I was like, oh, this they could, and I wasn't going to be like it's going to take over the world, but I was like, oh, this is a cool thing that you could do. And if you were careful with the licensing, you could even bring in like some old anime titles and mix them with like some old this and old that and come up with some really wild ideas, and you know, and keep the animation simple and all that, so it's not like,
Yeah.
you know, because I think it would be great seeing like you mix Popeye in with like old Street Fighter. It would just be like really funny, you know.
Sorry, I just had a moment of drool. One of our favorite ice cream places, Moomers, they're open. I wouldn't go there even if we were there, so I wouldn't go in.
Well,
But
it's up to them.
they just showcased their new or they're showing off one of their flavors, peanut butter Oreo and a waffle cone. And I'm just like, son of a gun. I think that was pretty much my response. Like, oh.
Could you do me a favor and look up Mentalk real quick? I have a picture of him here, but his beard is black and disappears into his shoulder, and I'm trying to remember how his beard went, and I'm blanking entirely. I just need a quick glimpse of what his beard looks like.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
It's mind-taking, baby!
It's kind of like just a weird squared off thing.
That's what I remember it, but I couldn't quite fully recall.
Okay, I'm just trying to find one that's matching your angle there.
Well, I just need an idea. I just need to see it.
Well, give me a second.
I can extrapolate from different angles. I just need to understand.
Sure. I'm trying to find a good picture. Here we go. Kind of blurry, but here you go.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was figuring. Cool. Thank you, sweetie.
You're welcome. some have it squared off, some have it coming to a point.
I'm gonna do a little bit of both. It's mine taking, baby.
Here we go. There's a front view.
Oh, good. It is. That's a little bit more like I was. Actually, that's a little bit more like I'm doing. Okay, I'll bring this eye down a little bit more. It's mine taking, baby.
Yes. See that? Mine taking.
I love the bailiff they coupled him with.
Poor guy.
Well, it's not only poor guy, but it was so funny because they literally were like, we need the absolute stunning opposite of men talk. Like the guy just could not care less that the sideshow performer. He just like, whatever. I'm just here.
This is my job. This is my life.
This is what I'm dealing with now. You know.
When he comes out and he like scruffles his hair, and then throws him a dog treat. And the treat goes past his mouth. And he like opens his mouth like a second later.
It's like, yeah, fine, yeah, I'm doing the thing. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, jerk. You know. That's mine taking, baby. I know he said so much better stuff, but it's just every single time I heard that, I was just like, yeah, it is mine taking, baby.
I like on some of them, he's like wearing a robe, but then there's like ones where he's wearing his outfit and he's barefoot.
Yep. Yep.
Like, dude just doesn't care. That's awesome.
I also love the fact that his gavel was a stick with a brain at the end of it. You know?
That would either like occasionally make a clanging noise or make a squeaking noise. Or yes. Yeah, I don't know if I would want to have him as a judge or not. 'Cause, like,
If it's a cartoon, yeah. If it's reality, absolutely not. Well, it's kind of like that one Rick and Morty kind of audio short where they reenacted that one court case with the guy that freaks out and the judge that has to deal with him. Oh, it's just freaking
yeah,
hilarious.
I remember that one.
In that case, I wanted Men Talk in there, you know, because he just mind take that dude. I mean, that was a dude that just did not care, you know, what happened to him. He was just so disrespectful to the court and blah blah. This poor judge, you know, he was just. I was just the whole time going like, oh, Men Talk, bring Men Talk in, mind take this guy.
That's a phrase that you're not sure if you want to utter again or keep uttering it. That's right. Mind take this guy.
That's right, mind take this guy. Mind take him. It's mind taking, baby. Oh, sure. Now that we have our all of our
Yeah.
streaming stuff working,
Yeah, popped in saying that one person was watching and then it went away again.
that's fine. I'm totally okay with that. It's a shame, but we'll get it figured out someday.
seems to be goofing around when it comes to stuff is happening to everything. So I'm trying to sign in for the grocery pickup stuff, and it just keeps saying, I have a sign-in order, and then everything that I put in my cart the past 3 days is gone. So, yeah, I'm hoping, even though it says that there's stuff in there, it says, hey, your cart has 46 items, estimated total, 0. I'm like, okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, but there's nothing in the cart, so,
Oh, not awesome.
yeah, I'm trying to select stuff, and it won't let me. Huh. Such is life. Do we want any more bologna, or are we good on bologna? Are we blowing out?
I think that's up to you. I could stand some ham myself,
Okay.
and sliced Swiss if civilization can still support such a thing.
We'll see what happens. Apparently the Meyer shop is a little wonky right now, so.
Should probably clean this up. I'm like competing with lines at this point. Wait a minute, what is that line again? Oh crap.
Yeah, I always find it funny when you do that.
Dang it, I think I know what that line is. Oh no. I have no clue what that line is anymore. Oh no. Gotta clean up that line.
I was doing that last night. I was like sketching, well, a couple nights ago, sketching. Alright, I think I finally got something down. Wait, what is this? What was that from? I know it was like something when we were like way back in Michigan. It was like something like a weird, like some weird cartoon, like an internet bunny or something. Or...
Something. God, we've gotten to the point where we can't remember where the stuff even came from anymore.
We've said so much weird crap in our lives.
It was some kind of like internet bunny.
Yeah.
Dude, it was some kind of internet bunny, and he went, oh no. Today's trivia. In the year 2000, there was some kind of internet bunny, and it said, oh no. What the heck was it? I don't know. I don't even remember anymore.
Well, the fact that we can still make that joke almost 20 years later, or what? 15.
Well, the sound is funny. I just can't remember what the heck it's from. Baby.
so I'll deal with it later.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. We'll get it figured out.
Yep. Go to select on something and it just spins. Add to cart, and it just kind of sits there.
I just wanted some ham and Swiss cheese.
A little bit quieter than normal. Well, aside from our next door neighbor scraping the wall with his teeth or something. That's what it sounds like.
Our neighbors, the rat nibblers.
I'll say, all right, gopher boy.
And our electricity went out again.
Shooting through the wires, little bugger.
It's mine taking, baby. Mine taking, baby.
I like the eye.
Yeah, it's not bad. pull some out with the darker lines here. Hmm?
I'm trying to once again get the files on my tablet to work right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the more Apple products advance and fix themselves, the more difficult they are to use. If something works, you should just stop touching it
Yep.
until there's like an actual reason to do so.
Yeah, there's been like several of their features that they've
Fixed?
that are just absolutely just pointless. It's like on it's more for the entertainment aspect, like for the iPod or for like for me it's annoying because on the tablets on the pads there's their photo app, of course. Now, of course, being artists, we have photos that we use for references and stuff, and we keep on the app. So, what they used to do, or what used to happen, was you open up the picture on the phone app, and it's just there. And for me, I have my tablet set so that it goes off after a certain time, just to consume power and all that, because I have a tendency to walking away with stuff. So, but yeah, so I'd walk away, do something, come back, get it back going again, and the picture would still be there where I left it. Simple as that. Now they have it just for some dumb reason where if you leave it for more than like 3-5 minutes, it'll literally reset itself back to the opening of the app.
Yeah.
Instead of just keeping with a picture where it was. It doesn't just go back to the
Where you were?
you know, not only where you were, but like I can even say I'd even go like, okay, if it went back to where the folder was.
Sure.
But it goes literally all the way back out to where you like just open the app and like has all your stuff there.
I know.
And I was like, that's stupid. And
It's like, you'll need to stop thinking for me. I don't need you to think for me.
yeah,
you
I'm
know?
like, why are you resetting this? Like, I had it set here for a reason. I don't want this to go away.
Exactly
and now I
right.
have to go back in and find where that picture was out of the thousands that I have.
Exactly right.
And it's the same. It does the same thing with the iPod also, where I'll have it where it's my whatever playlist I have opened up. I have like 4 or 5 different playlists, and if you plug it up to recharge and leave it there for a while, instead of staying where the song will still be there that you were currently playing or so. But instead of staying in that playlist, it goes all the way out
Yeah.
and just completely backs out of the entire app itself. It just opens up to the home page instead of just staying where it was. And I'm just like, why? It didn't used to do that. Like 5 years ago, those didn't do that. So now it's like whatever new over the past, I want to say like 3 iOS updates, it's been doing that, and it's stupid. It's so ridiculous.
You know, it's their mentality has shifted from the old days. The old days they created something that was incredibly friendly to the user, easy to use, everything made sense. The funny thing was, is I heard people complaining about how it wasn't that way, and they were all like, kind of stepping in and doing, and I'm like, well, that didn't exist. It was it just worked.
Right.
Mac products used to just work.
Yeah.
Now they're like, I don't know. I guess there's a bunch of executives trying to like, I'm losing the word. They're trying to make sure it looks like they're worth the money they're being paid. So they're screwing with things that had already worked, and I just end up looking at Mac products now, going like, guys, Windows are messed up. I'm still using Windows, and I'm getting better at it, but I still hit moments where I'm like, what is with this?
Yeah.
But with Mac products, it's like it's making decisions for me that it didn't used to do, and now I'm just going like, you don't get to make decisions for me. I'm sorry, no.
Yeah, it's like, for instance, right now, I'm trying to move a bunch of files into another folder. And unfortunately, there isn't an option that, at least for this, because they're coming off of the internet here, where I just can't do a download folder because the original folder is locked.
Sure.
But the files are there for people to use. You just have to get them out however you want. And so I'm trying to just do a single here, and instead of pasting these in order like I want them to, like blah 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 blah, I do push down, paste, and it puts it in the middle. Instead of just putting it over here in order where I want it, it just thinks I wanted to paste it in the middle out of order for some dumb reason.
I bet there's a way of ordering it, but it's some weird, convoluted, touch-based way that nobody but like one of the druidic inner circle of Apple people know about. Because I had one where I was literally, what was it? It was I was trying to save an image into the photos folder, and so there's all those freaking options at the bottom, and send to this, do to this, and I'm like, and there's all the save options, and I'm like, this doesn't work. I was in there for like 15 minutes, and then I got tired, and I just grabbed the screen and just started strangling the thing, and my thumb was sitting on the image, and then the thing popped up. Do you want to save this to photos? And I'm like, and I just started strangling the thing further. And I was like, no, old Apple used to just have it so it made sense. It wasn't hiding stuff. You could just do things.
Yeah.
Now you wanna strangle whatever engineer came up with that, and you're going like, so your thought was to save me time and energy, hide the obvious options of the things I want to use, and put it under didn't you know you were supposed to just press down on the image? No, because you gave me a bunch of options at the bottom that said save. That's what I think I'm going to look, that's where I'm going to look when you have save options. Instead of, now if they had both, it's down in the save area where it's obvious, and there's a shortcut. Press down, blah, blah, blah. Now, if I missed the shortcut, no big deal, but you hid it from me.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there going like, why? Why would you do stuff like that? And meanwhile, some dude got like a 6-figure raise over this moronic change, and
I just had that happen to me where, again, on the files here, I'm trying to make a new folder. And I'm like, okay, how do I make a new folder? There's no option saying new folder. Can I just make a new folder? And instead of them having a little thing that says make a new folder at like the plus sign folder or anything like that, there's nothing there. I have to press in a blank space where the folder, add a new folder.
That's
add
not
stuff.
obvious. That's what I mean, where it's just like, guys, you used to be good at this. Now it's like, now they're just like, I don't know, it's like they're really into screwing with you, I think is the only way I can put it. I seriously, I used to know Windows guys that would complain about Mac until they were blue in the face, but a lot of their criticisms were baseless and made no sense. Now, their criticisms like 15, 20 years later actually apply. So what they were seeing, I can't tell.
Yeah.
Because they were full of it years ago, and they'd be complaining. I'm like, that's not how it is. Blah blah blah. I use these products. It's not, and now it is. And I'm going like, well, if they were complaining about it now, it would have, I'd be like, oh, they were like, they were, oh, they know what they're talking about. But back in the day, you're like, you're just doing the Chevy, Ford, Coke, Pepsi argument. You just don't like Mac. Now, a lot of what they're saying, which wasn't true then, is now true.
Yeah.
So either they were really seeing something or they were just full of crap. I highly think they were just full of crap because back in the day I was using Mac products and everything was just like, it worked. That's all it did. Now, was there some issues here and there? Yeah, nothing's perfect. But it worked. It was obvious. It was simple to use. Now it's turning to the point where it's not simple to use anymore. And it's just driving me crazy. I'm like, it's trying to make decisions for me. And
yeah, it's like I just want to put these files in order the way I'm putting them down. And instead, like every third one, for some reason, it'll like go, okay, move it over, paste, move it over, paste, and then on the third one, it puts it in between the other files that are putting it at the first, at the top. It puts it in between the second and third. I'm like, why don't you just put them in the order I'm asking you to? Why are you just doing this? And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna get rid of this folder and just gonna keep it the way that's on here. Like delete, because you guys are making this way harder than I really wanted it to be.
And that's what I'm saying is old Mac never, I don't want to say never had a problem, but never did that. It's like if you were just doing something, it would just do it.
Right.
It was, everything was clean and obvious and made sense. And, if you needed to figure something out, it usually didn't require you finding an expert. You could just kind of look around and go, oh, file, under file, thing. There it is. And then you're done. Now it's just like they're hiding stuff with finger and pokey screen, newfangled, and I use touch screens. I'm not like completely illiterate to this, but when it feels like there's a little bit of a cultiness to it, or, oh, didn't you know you're supposed to press on the side and then with two fingers and then go apart and then spin around and then sacrifice a chicken and pray to Steve Jobs, Like, no, I just want
to turn on the computer.
Exactly right. You're just like, I just want to do the thing. What are you doing?
I just want to scan something.
I just wanted to watch a cartoon. What? Oh, no, I'm sorry. What was? When are we going to get to the fireworks factory?
Always my favorite go-to of just why stuff just doesn't work.
Can't just go to the fireworks factory. When I used to watch The Simpsons.
I mean, they were fun. I mean,
it was really good, but then it just kept doing the same thing over and over, and I found other shows.
Still, one of my favorite moments in animation history is when one of the old ones where Bart unfortunately gets beat up by Nelson.
Thank you. I was about to say I was blanking on the bully's name.
And there's Lisa sitting in front of the house, and a garbage can just comes rolling down the street and goes in front of the house, and Bart falls out of it. And I forget what she says something like, "Oh, are you okay, or did it happened again?" And Bart coughs up his hat.
Simpsons, and I'm not saying isn't great anymore. I haven't seen it. I can't sit there and say one. It could even be better than it used to be. I don't know. But man, I used to have some really good memories of that show. And then I just kind of, when I stopped watching it, I was like, I'm sort of seeing the same thing over and over again. And Futurama came out, and I'm like, I'd rather watch this. And then they canceled it so The Simpsons could keep going. That was literally when I swore I would never watch The Simpsons again, because I'm like, you had something better and funnier and fresher, and you got rid of it so the show that had been on for way too long could keep going. I'm like,
well, to be fair, even though they canceled, they did bring it back for a little bit, and we got more, and they finally finished it. So I'd rather have them say, okay, here's more, and we're going to tell the story, and we finally give it a nice ending.
Yeah, I think that they should just end The Simpsons kind of like how they ended Futurama. That Futurama was classy because it came to an it's classy, but in that way came to an end.
I think, if I remember, I think it's more Fox than
Still?
Groening at this point.
No,
Fox,
I'm not blaming the creators or the talent.
Yeah,
It's
Fox that's their cash cow. They're not going to let it go.
but that's what I'm saying is they needed to be punished. No, seriously, that's why I stopped watching The Simpsons. I'm like, no, I can't support this. You guys had a fresher, newer, better show, and because you were a bunch of corporate, gutless cowards that couldn't stick with something to develop it and keep it moving forward, you went with the easy, dumb choice, which was, let's just keep this show going that does so well because everyone, not everyone, but so many people at home would just turn it on and shut their brains off and just, drink a beer or two instead of, it's easy. Let's just turn this show on. We always turn this show on. I'm like,
And then when
but
they tried
guys, that means that anything new and interesting that happens will just die immediately because it's not the old thing you've seen 1,000 times. I'm like,
Well, and even when they tried bringing the new stuff in, the new stuff suddenly became just like the old stuff and got sucked in. Thus
Yep.
things like Family Guy and American Dad, which literally, at one point people were literally they were making fun of him or anything, calling Fox Animations thing, even all of the stuff that wasn't Seth MacFarlane, they still called it the Seth MacFarlane Power Hour because it was just pretty much that's all they were showing was Simpsons and Family Guy crap.
yeah. Or stuff that, which is funny because, when I go like, well, clearly Futurama is a descendant of The Simpsons. Clearly.
Right.
It same people, next best show, blah, blah, blah. But when, and I gotta say, the first couple seasons of Family Guy slayed me. And there were good episodes after that. But then what was it? The Clevelands and
Cleveland Show, American
the Cleveland
Dad.
Show and American Dad. And the thing was there were moments. I liked characters in them, but it essentially was just Family Guy Part 2, Family Guy Part 3. There wasn't a big enough difference like The Simpsons to Futurama, there was an evolution there. There was a clear, obvious evolution as to how things worked. That's why it was so good. And then American Dad was Family Guy. The Cleveland Show was literally characters from Family Guy. It was just kind of like, oh, okay, we're doing this.
It was like 7 minutes of about 7 to 10 minutes of main plot line, 5 minutes of subplot line, and then the rest of non sequitur. Hey, do you remember when?
Well, that and not to say that there weren't times where it was funny, but I don't like anyone preaching to me. I especially don't need Seth MacFarlane or any just. Look, if I was Seth MacFarlane, I wouldn't want me preaching to me. But I don't need some cartoon guy, just sticking his opinion in my face. And even if I agreed with it, I don't care. I don't like it when people do that. And I'm like, and it got old.
And the funny thing is, cartoons, that's what they do to some aspects, is they put their creators' stuff out there for people to see. But it's like when you do it in such a way where it's just like
Blatant.
Yeah, not just blatant, but it's not helping the storyline. It's not helping the stuff. 'Cause I mean, like, because Steven Universe, it puts its creators' opinions out there, but they
True.
did it in such a way that it actually it amplified and it helped the storyline and it actually was part of the storyline. It didn't talk down to the people who were watching it.
Well, there was also you take Star Trek. Star Trek did that where they clearly had opinions on things, but they didn't beat you. They, like I said, they weren't preaching it to you. They weren't shoving it in your face. They would just tell a great story and, oh, by the way, if you caught this sort of message they wanted to give, it was there, but they didn't shove it in your face. McFarlane just got to the point where he damn near was just sticking signs in the screen going like, I don't like these people. I don't like what they're doing. And initially when he did it, there was a clever joke there,
Yeah.
and I laughed. But then it was just getting to the point where it was just like,
It was getting mean.
it was just being mean, and it wasn't even clever, and it was just like, look, here's my opinion. We're like, yeah, Seth, we know your opinion. You know, it was much funnier early on when, you know, I think somebody was telling him no early on. You know, and I'm not saying that the man isn't clever, but I am saying that it's probably better when some people are told no. You have to make this more clever. No, you have to try harder than just shoving your opinion in there and hoping everyone agrees with you.
Well, I think he had a huge bevy of things, but he had a good group of writers
Yeah,
that, like, actual, like, fun comedic writers who would.
yeah.
Like,
Wasn't the Phineas and Ferb guys in there?
Yeah, Dan Povenmire was
He's
one of them,
excellent.
as well as Conan O'Brien. Or no, Conan O'Brien was I'm sorry, he was Simpsons. I'm sorry.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
I was like, Conan? I thought he was
Yeah, he
Simpsons.
was Simpsons, but there was Dan Povenmire and then a few other people of comedy people that we know were actually writers on Family Guy and stuff too. That's where they got a lot of their starts and stuff. But it's like, I think he had just a lot of just different takes, and then I think after a while people just left, and those who were there were just kind of like his lackeys, because there was one
Like
guy,
a cult of Seth or something.
and there was one guy who actually, one of his writers actually got in trouble because he made a really bad and tasteless Pearl Harbor joke.
Yeah, I think I remember something about that.
And so when the tsunami hit in Japan, he made a really
I remember that now.
and that was one of his writers. So it's like, I think it was just like a bunch of his kind of cronies in a sense, or basically his echo chamber began just becoming.
And I don't think that's good for anybody.
Nope.
And I think that creatives should be trusted and listened to and such. But that's why you need other creatives there to kind of balance them out in case they go too far. And Seth MacFarlane I honestly believe that he's probably, I don't want to necessarily say a comedic genius, but he's really good. But that's when he has somebody that counters him to keep him from getting all preachy and stuff. Because when he gets preachy, he's no fun anymore.
He's a talented guy. He's just full of himself.
I think he's got probably some ego issues. Yeah.
He puffs his farts pretty good.
You know, and the thing is, I say that like respecting his work and such, and when he was funny, holy crap, he was really funny. But I think he doesn't. He's like George Lucas. I think George Lucas is probably a film genius, as long as somebody is there to make sure he realizes that his crap stinks. How do I know this? The man couldn't even recognize what Yoda looked like in the newer movies. He didn't even bother to go and look at the original images of Yoda when they made Yoda for. I mean, that's a whole level of somebody standing up and going like, "Hey, George, hey, do you remember the movie you made? Yeah, this is a photo of it. Oh my God, that doesn't look anything like the Yoda we have in this movie." Yeah. Somebody, I think that's a kind of genius. I don't know if is the right word exactly, but is the kind of person that needs somebody there to remind them that their crap stinks, and then they're amazing if that person is there. And I think Seth MacFarlane is that kind of guy where I think he's great. Definitely need the crap remind stink guy. I don't know what the proper term for that is. That's not bad. I think that's probably a pretty good men talk.
It is. I like it. I think you did a good one on that one.
Yeah. We didn't get anybody.
Nope.
Oh well. Everyone's probably got better things to do. Weather's kind of nice.
Trying to keep an eye on things, like just making sure that we're not getting hey, all these people commented.
I know. And if anybody's on there, I'm sorry. I think we got our messenger stuff fixed, but it's might be a little wonky still.
Yeah, as far as I know, I'm not seeing anybody on there, so yep.
It's all right.
On that side, it's okay, it's okay.
Anywho, everyone have yourself a good week. We will Do the Mr. Rogers bit here. And center that in the middle of the screen. There we go. See if I can play my weekly game of fit the stuff in the box. See if I can finally, after years, you figure out, come up with some kind of a tactic, a technique, a methodology, a grim, dark ritual.
You're an artist. That's part of the game.
Ooh. What am I? Oh, no. Oh, I almost... I feel as if I had it, but in actuality, I probably didn't. Oh, wait. No. Darn it. I suck. I so suck. I do my Mr. Rogers bit, and then I just suck. I can't operate a box. I can't operate a freaking box. Something wrong with me.
Attaboy.
I've done it before. Wait, did I just do it? Did I just do it? I did. Oh, I did. I did the thing. Julie, I did the thing.
Attaboy.
Anywho, everyone have yourself a good week, and we will catch you later.
Stay safe.